So, hey everybody, good morning. It's Saturday morning, so most of you might be doing some sport things today, or hopefully some of you, because it's 9 o'clock, are still sleeping in, your lucky ducks. I just wanted to do this quick little video. I do say quick, but you guys probably think now quick's like 20 minutes, but I will do it quick. Hey, got the coffee, drinking that. I'm actually doing some volunteer work with the Family Drug Support today in relation to running some group work for family members. Now, I'm very passionate when it comes to group work, because I think sometimes people actually do really well working in a group, especially when it comes to therapy versus, one-on-one. So some people find that quite, intimidating, where they don't know how to sort of start that ball rolling, and also finding the right therapist. And that is why my business, if you actually did want to catch up, because I am starting to take appointments, is the first session's free, because I find that's a way of, you can meet me and you can go, yeah, I like Renee, or I don't like Renee, and that's fine too, because I'm a peacock, I can handle that, that's all good. But what it allows you is, it allows you to know how I work, and especially with a counselling hat on, yes, I do a little bit of that listening and see where you're coming from, but also more as a coach, I'm more about, right, okay, this has happened to you. Yeah, that sucks. And that really is shitty. And these are the feelings that you're experiencing. But then utilizing a bit of the ACT, the acceptance commitment therapy in that, is now challenge you to move forward. So if that's something that you would like to do, then I'll work with you, and that's how I work. So that's why my first session is always free. But today I'm at lovely Croydon Park, and we're going to do some group work, which is actually for family members. So remember, the family drug support is about the family of those, that are suffering with a form of addiction. I hate using the word addiction, but those that are, not in a good place, whether they're dealing with alcohol, other forms of drugs, like, look, here I am drinking caffeine, and is that highly addictive? And how many of us are taking that? Yeah. And obviously that next big one is alcohol. So a lot of people are on sort of these type of medication to keep us going. We self-medicate, but it's only becomes a problem once it starts to impact on our function. So that is the particular person, but what about the family that's experienced that? And like anything, we love the person to death, we really do, but it's the behaviour that we are finding quite challenging. And having space like this for families to come to, and whether it's having a cup of tea, having a drink, not of alcohol, hopefully, just some water, but it's just a place to come together and really just express what's going on. And not only do they get to share their story, and not everyone wants to share the story, but if they can share the story, they can also listen to other people share their story, because everyone's in a different point in their life, in their journey with that. There are some people that are right at the beginning, where they're, like, for example, I've had few, parents ring me in relation to their kids sort of starting to, experiment with marijuana, and, and then their behavior starts to change. And, oh, my child used to be so good at maths and so good at school, and what's happening? I don't understand. And it's that place where it's just starting for them, and it's really your heart, it's like a trigger sometimes for me, because I have 4 boys and I have a 16-year-old as well. And then you'll get other people that have gone through that process with maybe someone with, whether it's alcohol or heroin, and they're in a different stage of that. And it's just really, it's a great opportunity for just family just to go, yeah, that's happened to me. I don't feel so alone, even though these feelings they're experiencing are perfectly normal, and you want them to create a space that they can share that. So this is why I do what I do with the family drug support, but it's also something I'd like to start to have myself for my own business with Inspire to Motivate, is having a place for people that might not be ready for a one-on-one sort of therapy type of work, but they might want to just sort of challenge themselves or develop themselves. So, we can have a place where, once a week you come and we just talk about things, what's going on for you, and looking at your values, and, and what's happening in that wellness world. Because remember, that's what it's about. It's giving you skills to stay well, because shit happens, right? It really does. If it's when I do the bucket exercise, and I get people to put the bucket up there and just to throw everything in there, some people find that quite challenging because they don't know where to begin. And then I have a lid on it because that's what most people do with that, right? Just put the lid on it. And it's really scary to go, well, what can I actually really deal with today? It's like when we do the budget, who's got a budget? How much money do you know, how much you earn and how much you spend, until we really look at that. But the sense of relief that you get when you start to open that up and start working and challenging and creating space for those really uncomfortable feelings is the moment you do start to grow and you will learn about yourself. It's not easy. I can tell you that from my own personal experience, it's not easy. And there are days where I still go, God, I don't know if I can do this, it's quite challenging, but the reward for me is that I am doing what I love to do and I'm living a value-driven life and I'm doing that. So I did say this was going to be short. It probably isn't because I just go on and on and on. But if you really want to hook up, for a one-on-one, it is free. It's just having a cup of coffee, having a chat, tell me where you're at and we can go from there. So please inbox me through Messenger because that's where most people have been inboxing me. My website does take bookings, but I'm trying to get it to anyway, it's all techie. Don't want to bore you with that stuff. I'm a peacock brain. It just doesn't always work for me either. But enjoy your day and remember, to tell someone, how much you love them. Give them a hug for the day. Sometimes just giving someone just that hug, hug your kids and it brings you back to this is why I do what I do and that keeps you going. So enjoy your day. See ya.